To be doused with champagne in a championship locker room. Broadcasters never like it. It burns, it smells, it ruins your clothes. Last night, Deion Sanders apparently upset with Tim McCarver's criticisms of his two-sport day last Sunday. Felt like he would gain a measure of revenge, not with champagne, but by dousing McCarver with 4 tubs of ice water. McCarver was furious. So was CBS Sports. Rick Gentile, their producer, complained to National League President Bill White last night. McCarver wants a meeting with White as soon as he can get one.
The beef between Deion Sanders and Tim McCarver, an age-old rivalry played out in the public eye between star athlete and former big leaguer turned notable media member.
And after this confrontation, Tim McCarver confronted Sanders.
McCarver's right here. Right now, here you go. I got a real man, you know that? Yes. You are a real man, Deion, I'll say that.
But why did it come to this? Let's explain. At the time, Deion Sanders was a prolific athlete, starring for the Atlanta Falcons. However, he was also a stellar baseball player, even being drafted by the Royals early on. His passion for sports came at a young age. Enrolled in Pop Warner football, he was undersized at the time, but faster than hell. By the time Sanders got to high school, he was a 3-sport athlete: basketball, baseball, and football, as the quarterback leading his team on offense and safety, snagging interceptions left and right. He would tell his mom he was going to use sports as a vehicle to build wealth. He'd skip the Kansas City Royals and accept a scholarship at Florida State, continuing the mindset of playing multiple sports at a time. While doing so, he created a character for marketing purposes. The name: Prime Time. He would say it embodied 4 athletes: Muhammad Ali, Dr. J, O.J. Simpson, and Hank Aaron. He was an All-American in football, led FSU to the College World Series in baseball, and smoked All-American sprinters in track. He was paid $75,000 to play minor league ball by the Yankees for just 3 months of work as a junior in college. He would tell Shannon Sharp of the Club Shay Shay podcast,
going into my junior year in the summer, I signed a Yankees contract.
Right.
So it was like the first NIL. So the Yankees paid my tuition.
Okay.
And I was a walk-on.
Okay.
So I could stunt like no other.
In 1988, he won the Jim Thorpe Award as the best defensive back in the nation. In 89, he was selected by the Falcons as the 5th overall pick. He signed for over $4 million, the highest paid corner in league history. Simultaneously, he signed a deal playing outfield for the Yankees. Sports Illustrated would start the "Can he really do both?" narrative with their cover titled Deion's Dilemma. He'd leave the Yankees and sign with the Braves in 1991 on a game-by-game basis. It was for 1 year, $650,000, which worked out well. Football with the Falcons, baseball with the Braves, win-win. He was a household name across the country, showing there is no limit to what he can do, though many in sports media despised it and grew tired of his shtick. On that fateful day in 1992, Prime split time between the Braves' playoff game and the Falcons' battle against the Dolphins in Miami. The teams provided him limos and private helicopter rides for the commute. Enter Tim McCarver, former big leaguer from 1959 to 1980, a winner of 2 World Series, and broadcaster for Major League Baseball games. During the 1992 playoff series between the Braves and Pirates, McCarver said to a national audience, "There's been a lot of talk that Sanders is a consummate team player. Well, if he's that, how can he leave the playoffs and go play a football game?" You heard Braves GM John Sherholtz say that it was an understanding that he would be with the team for these 2 weeks. Thus, it led to this. When the Braves won the pennant, celebrations began in the locker room with McCarver interviewing players. Sanders heard the comments and took the opportunity to douse McCarver 3 different times. With many media members, it then became open season on Sanders. And he, reacting to that, would refuse to speak to the media at times. We would later learn it was Sanders' mother who took the criticism from McCarver personally. He would say he believed McCarver needed to be cooled off. The public was split. Some viewed the critiques as unwarranted. Others thought McCarver was right. Tim McCarver would say, "He tried to hit me with another tub that missed me, and I said, 'You know, Deion, you're a real man. You are a real man.' I thought it was a deliberate, cowardly act. Sanders would go on the offensive. How can you be a coward for throwing water on someone? He asked interviewer Ernie Johnson. Yes, that Ernie Johnson. The guy just didn't want us to win, and we did. He just got a little wetter than anybody else. I never met the man, and I never spoke to him in my life. We were just having a good time. He would go on to win a Super Bowl and continue to play in both sports. What I view this as is the generational gap between this is how it should be done and an athlete creating their own path to greatness.